Shalom, brothers and sisters. So, in case you didn't realize this, and some people actually don't, but Netanyahu is the prime minister and he's been elected into power and he makes all the decisions and does all those things. That's the prime minister's position. But in the background, there is a president of Israel, Hertzog. Hertzog warns Israel's leaders, clash over the judicial overhaul will consume us all. President cites deep concerns if coalition proposals are rushed through the Knesset and urges dialogue, says Israel at a fateful moment. The powder keg is about to explode. And I agree with him. I see the arguments on both sides, and I honestly think the solution here is dialogue, which is not happening. And they are trying to rush this change through for who knows what the actual reasons are. But nothing really good comes from rushing things through like a bull. I think in this case he's right, and dialogue would have made it a little bit easier. President Isaac Hertzog on Tuesday warned Israel is on a course to tear itself apart amid the government's planned radical shakeup of the judicial system and mounting public opposition. He urged the country's leadership to avoid confrontation and instead engage in patient dialogue and constructive debate. The democratic foundations of Israel, including the judicial system, the human rights and freedoms, are sacred, and we must protect them and the values expressed in the Declaration of Independence. Addressing the educational conference in Tel Aviv, he said the dramatic reform, when done quickly, without negotiation, rouses opposition and deep concerns. I see the sides prepared and ready all along the front for an all-out confrontation over the character of the State of Israel, and I am anxious. We are on the brink of an internal struggle that could consume us all. Hertzog issued a plea to Israel's leaders to show responsibility and take the time needed for this critical decision. He warned the absence of dialogue is tearing us apart from within. I'm telling you loudly and clearly, this powder keg will explode. This is an emergency. During the reigns of the House of David and Hasmoneans, Jewish states were established in the land of Israel, and twice they collapsed before reaching their 80th anniversary. Let me emphatically emphasize, I am not a prophet of doom. I never was and never will be. I'm a great believer in the resilience of the state of Israel and the strength of the wonderful people who live here, Hertzog said. And yet, we are at a fateful testing moment that will influence our people and our state. It's interesting that this 80 year that they're trying to reach without falling apart keeps coming up. And we as well with the Fig Tree generation are heading towards that 80-year goalpost with Israel. As presented by Justice Minister Yair Levin, the coalition's proposals would severely restrict the High Court's capacity to strike down laws and government decisions with their override clause, enabling the Knesset to re-legislate struck down laws with a bare majority of 61, gives the government complete control over selection of judges, prevent the court from using a test of reasonableness to judge legislation and government decisions, and allow ministers to appoint their own legal advisors instead of getting counsel from advisors operating under the aegis of the Justice Ministry. So there's some real concerns there. The big problem here is they're internally at war with each other at a time when their enemies are mounting and stacking up arms and weapons and preparing on their doorsteps and within the country. And they're realizing that it's all going to hinge on can they or can they not make it to 80 this time around successfully. So keep an eye on it. This is a big developing news story and it's in the news every day, and we'll see how this goes, and hopefully they manage to pull something out of this without tearing themselves apart before they get attacked again. God bless, keep praying for Israel and keep looking up. Shalom.